Hi, YouTube. Hey, welcome on back. Surprised? You guys probably thought I just dropped off the anime forever. I told you guys we would come back as soon as we stabilized, and we're stabilizing, and we're going to finish the entirety of Season 1. Now, if you guys want a Season 2, you guys got to let me know. Like, you guys got to come in here and vote, especially when there's a voting opportunities on the Discord. You guys got to show up and vote. If it's like, oh, I want you to analyze Bloom Into You, you guys got to show up and vote. You guys, if you're like, oh, I want you to psychoanalyze Boku no Pico, you guys got to show up and vote. This is all about your guys' ability to go ahead and show up and vote for whatever shows you genuinely want, right? Whether that's like, Season 2 of this show, or this is, if going further into like High School DxD, High School of the Dead, whatever show you guys want, you guys got to be open to having that discussion and showing it, right? B&B. No. I'm just saying, if you guys want your show to be one, you guys got to keep talking about it and keep bringing it up in that ability so it makes it onto a poll. So, for example, a show that I want to finish, and I love going and talking about this and bringing it up, even though it might not be popular, it might not be whatever, is Serial Experiments Lane. It's still on my mind. The buzzing noise, the everything, it's still like infesting my fucking ears, bro. So I really want to get back into Serial Experiments Lane at some point and just finish it up. Yes, Masters. It feels like it needs to be done, but that'll be at some point. Yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and jump into this? It's probably going to be a nostalgia wave because we haven't seen it in quite a number of months. Anyway, let's go. I don't know what else to say. Let's go. Enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, get ready. We're going to analyze everything we can. Question for y'all, right? They did not have to go all this hard, but I appreciate that they did. Question for you guys. Do you ever... Like, have you ever, if you've been depressed, right, or you've been in a state of depression, how hard has it been to accept other people's help? Like, when people notice that you're depressed and people start outreaching or trying to get you out and about or whatnot, how hard is it for you to accept their help or for you to take that step forward? I'm going to be honest. Yes, well, it is, healing comes in waves, right? And sometimes, like, every book out there will tell you, surround yourself with friends. But it's not that easy, right? And sometimes friends can become family, but it's not that easy. And sometimes people, like, their warmth shines a little too bright for what you're feeling at the moment. You might be feeling absolutely cold and absolutely desolated. In a hard depression episode, I shut everyone out. Yeah, because you tend to go ahead and want to be by yourself and feel what you need to feel, even if it's not in a healthy environment, right? Which is why, this opening just highlights, the fact that you need to be open to accepting others or be open to that warmth. Because oftentimes what people do is like, oh, you're too warm, and they close out everyone. And it can be terrifying. It can be absolutely lonely and terrifying, and can be hard on both parties. So, anyway. Oh, and they made crunchy snow too. What an opening shot. But yeah, man, that's no sound. But also, what an opening shot to come into. Of literally just one person walking, being surrounded by a storm like that. And this is why I highlight it, right? Because in the opening, we also saw something similar, except with our main character falling down. Which the question comes in, how do you deal with the storms in your life, right? Are you able to go ahead and overcome them, and take on the challenges, or do you run back out of them? Or do you succumb to them? Because a lot of people, the storms might be a little too much, and for them the only thing that they can do is shelter in place. And it's interesting philosophies, or interesting just psychological dynamics to know. Oh.
なんて美しい夕日だろう。
Keep forgetting that this show's a fucking painting, bro. Come to life.
気がつくと手にクワを持って立っていた。すぐさま夢と気づいたが、なんだか懐かしくてそのままクワを振るい続けた。
Sure.
誰かが呼んでる。
Oh.
あ、
Oh.
5年前に出て行った恋人だ。
Oh.
そうか、こっちでは別れずに済んだんだ。そうだ、俺三段リーグ抜けられなくて故郷に戻ったんだっけ。家の明かりだ。
God damn, bro.
涙が出そうだ。みんないる。元気だ。じんちゃんもばんちゃんも会いたかった。
やっぱり会は強いな。ここじゃもう誰もかなわんさ。すごいな。
父さん、じんちゃん、みんなすみませんでした。こんなにも長い間応援してもらったの
Hi,
に。
Rudy.
ええんだよ、会。
Let's. Whoa. What a fucking amazing little introspection like moment that this brought in. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Holy shit. How many of you guys have had dreams like this, right? A what if situation. Exactly. If he didn't succeed in dreams and yet he's happy. There's often a lot of times, especially in life, where you're hit in a crossroads, right? I forgot how strong this show is. It hits like a fucking ton of bricks, bro. Where you have to make a decision in life. It's either point A or point B, and you can't have everything in between. And oftentimes, like for some people, they dwell on the what if possibility, right? What if I stayed home? What if I was able to go ahead and develop a family? What if I was, I was to save my past relationship and she was the one, and, I'd be able to at least be happy with like the simple life back home versus the daily struggles that you're going to, whether that's going to university or school or work or even waking up in the morning, right? These what if scenarios show a lot of our own personal narrative in that. And I wonder if you can like snap out of it with like, yes, this is like, this is a what if scenario, but this is not who I am today. That type of mentality. One of the key things to focus on is like how we tell our stories, right? And aside from that, it's being in the present, being in the here and now. Because it's awesome to think about the past and all the wonderful things that you may have done, or wonderful things that have happened. But that's the past. You're in the here and now. And unless you start thinking about awesome things to do in the here and now or being present in the here and now, what stories are you going to take with you in the future? This is awesome. Honestly, it comes with a lot of like, moments of anxiety, moments of stress, moments of deep introspection that can pull you back. I know because I've been in some of these what if scenarios, and I'm sure everyone has experienced it at least once in their life or will experience it at least once in their life. There are only some things you can do in the here and now. Well, you can start the course correction for what may come, and I think that's a big element in that, What's up, Chaos? How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
プロになんてなれなくったって。幸せなんてな、実はどこにいたって探せるものなんだ。
Damn, Grandpa dropping some
ただ
knowledge.
精一杯生きてりゃ、それでええんだ。ええんだよ、カイ。
I love the colors. I fucking love the colors from that warmth, right? Of being together with family, of like grandpa and like his kid and, dad there and everyone there. Like the warm colors, of everyone being together to just this cold blue that we see often throughout this show. This cold blue just completely enveloping the scene with a little bit of light and him in the middle. So he's the only source of warmth is outside of this room. That's some powerful fucking storytelling. Holy shit, dude. And even then, it's raining outside. So is it really warm? Ah, this almost fucking immediately. I'm like, is it really warm outside if there's still rain? It might be warm outside for him, psychologically speaking, but like,
笑えたのは夢の中でも将棋を指していたこと。
and that's your takeaway.
それでも棋士になりたかったと悔やんで、やっぱり胃を痛めていたこと。
島田八段にしてみりゃ悪夢みたいなもんだろうよ。
この調子じゃ4立てストレート負けが濃いな。ふるさと対決はもうねえな。
陰口は陰でって言ってもらう。大人げないしな。謝られてもめんどくさいし。胃が痛い。さてと、そろそろ支度するか。
Sure. And this is why I think that this also highlights something a lot of people don't know. Yes, Coffee, we're finishing up Sangatsu no Lion. And I think this is one of the biggest things to go and highlight. Guys, if you have crippling anxiety, crippling depression, right? Or whatever that may be. The reason why I laugh is because I remember that iDubbbz vid where he jumps out and he's like, hi. If you guys have any form of strong anxiety, strong depression, whatever that may be, seek professional help. It affects our biological self, our physiological self in many ways. And that's one of the key things a lot of people don't touch on is our mental states affect our physical bodies, right? To the point where I've seen people literally start developing sores, like in terms of like from biting too much, like you can literally just see like little tears and stuff inside, internally. Of course, people coming up with many different things. That's one of the key things in there. You Overlord season 2 when it gets voted on YOLO. But that's why I'm like, ooh.
騎士になれなくて田舎に帰った自分。すべてをかけてここまで来ても4立てくらいそうな自分。どっちが悪夢か、とことん味わってやろうじゃないか。
獅子王戦第4局2日目。初日はすでに守りを固めた宗谷名人が先行を仕掛けるも、島田さんがうまく切り返し、わずかながら優位を築き、7-3桂。島田さんがそのまま攻めに出たところで封じ手となった。
What the sealed move?
それにしても島田八段の7-3桂はちょっと前のめりすぎでは。
ああ、なんか攻めに出るというより焦ってるって感じですな。
お味噌汁いかがですか？
あ、お願い。
Why do I feel like the food here would be banging though? Like absolutely fucking just banging, right? Like you would, it'd be a fucking banger of a food. Like you'd go in there, you'd get your miso soup, you'd get your little bit of karage or whatever they're into, bro, and it would just be like absolutely fucking delicious. But also, talking is something that is something that's never gonna go away. Whatever competition you're in, whatever you're doing, there are people out there who wish you, honestly, some people wish you the best, but some people don't necessarily see everything that you're doing and will criticize everything that you're doing. And that's one of the key elements in that, right? Which is how do you take criticism of other people when they're talking bad about you? Are you okay with it? Does it shut you down or does it bolden you to, you know what, I'm going to prove them wrong? How do you take other people's words in for yourself? Does it genuinely impact you to your core? Or are you like, no, I'll be honest. I've learned to be much better at just fucking letting go. There's still some comments that come up from time to time that I'm like, ugh, that's a weird one. That's an interesting one. But like you learn to let go, especially if you're out in public and you're putting videos out in public, you're bound to get some amazing fucking comments. And you're also bound to get some that are like They hate everything that you do and who you are as a person or how you look physically, or they'll try and judge you for A, Y, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever that may be, you know? And that's why it's like, for yourself, how do you take criticism, and are you okay with like some of the criticism that may come? Because I'll be honest, in their shoes, I think that might be some of the most difficult like concepts to overcome. What do you think about people who have done you wrong? Should you let bygones be gone? Bygones, I meant it in real life, or should you never forgive them? Well, what is forgiveness? And that's a big aspect, Masters. Because everyone has a different definition of what forgiveness means. For some people, it's like, you know what, like, I don't care, like, the past is the past, but I'm not going to forget what you did, type of a thing. For other people, it's like, hey, no, I can't forgive you. I need you to be that villain in my life, no matter what, so that I can start the process of healing, which is A-okay in that regard. Interesting that they're showcasing all of this, and interesting that they're showcasing, at least in the show so far, like the impact that it can have on us, whether it's the dreams, the nightmares, the stress that must be being in this situation.
長引かせたくないんじゃないか。体調も悪そうだし、それにしてもな。
島田君も頑張っとるんだが、パッとしないな。やっぱりそうや相手だとな。
今回はこりゃ4立てになりそうだ。
島田八段また故郷対決ならずか。山形は遠いな。
控え室の意見は昨日から一貫してそうや餅一色だった、確かに島田さんは今回積極的だ。でも決して焦ってはいない。至っていつも通りだ。僕にはそう見える。神経戦が続いたが、島田さんは宗谷名人相手にひるまず細かくポイントを稼いだ。そんなに悪くないはずだ。
But now, and this is a real question, right? Does that come from our own biases, right? Which is, we have people on the outside who all they do is they're not really involved with both players. They just study the game, right? And so they're looking at this from that like third party perspective versus, hey, I spent time training with this person. This is normally how he plays. This is totally okay. But from an outside perspective looking in, it's like, wait a minute, this is looking a little rough. From you, what would you guys say? Or do you guys think that this is more of a biased perspective from playing with them, or a more nuanced perspective, or like, you know, from an outsider looking in? I think in general, there might be a bit of both. And I think that it's, you know, it's a bit of both in terms of like, number one, being able to go out and understand the person that you're playing with, or that you've played with and trained with. And number two, there might be a little bit of that bias in that, right? But we'll see.
ベッド付きのリムジンで京都まで送ったのに、しかもなんだ、ずっと2人で研究やってただと。なんで俺も誘わん。俺は兄者の弟でして、研究会ではお前と先輩なんだぞ。
ごめん、一応連絡しようとはしたんだけど、島田さんが
やめて、大騒ぎになるからいたたまれなくてマジで胃に穴が開くから王には言わないで。
兄さん大丈夫ですか。今すぐ参ります。
あいつ以前近所の小学校の校庭にヘリで乗り付けたことがあるんだってば。
Wow. Wow, he's such a fucking bro. He's willing to go ahead and just get his fucking copter and go for you. Holy shit, bro. Mandatory self-care. Yes, yes. He's like, I'm gonna fucking go in there and make sure you're practicing that.
俺も対局でなければ飛んでいったのだが、桐山、兄者を頼む。終局後もちゃんとそばにいてくれ。きっと兄者は何がどうあっても、とことんまで刺すだろうから。
わかった。必ず家まで。
Me too, for Onoda. It's been a hot minute.
会長、せめて朝の中継だけでも封じ手だけでも大丈夫です。ちゃんとできます。できますから。せっかく にテレビに出されて
インフルエンザですって生立ち会い人の辻井九段。さっきバレてこのありさまですわ。
Bro, what a fucking risk. What a risk, bro. Okay, you're sick. You go into this professional environment where two players, you know, one of them that doesn't have the greatest health, the other one that's like, you know, supposedly like the prime of the prime. You go in there with the flu and whatnot. And everyone in that room maybe starts getting sick.
全員うがい手の消毒他にもいないかインフルエンザ名乗り出ろ対局者に移したらぶっ殺すぞいやなんか昨日からおほんとやけに威張ってるなと思ってたんだけど
Oh, brother.
まさかテレビに映りたい一心で風邪を隠していたとは
ほんと残念な反
A waste of good
彼の
looks.
ためにある言葉ですよね。
Unfortunately, or sadly enough, there are a lot of people out there like that, right? Where they'll do anything to get on TV or they'll do anything to maintain that public appearance despite them not necessarily having the greatest health. And it's not a negative way of throwing it out there. It's just like for some people, like that's the end goal, right? In some way, shape, or form. Like, hey, if I put myself out there, there might be more opportunities, or maybe I might be recognized as like the most entertaining in this event, or something in that regard. A lot of people have a lot of different psychological reasons why they push to even like broadcast themselves in some way.
てなわけでスミスこの時間をもって副立ち会い人から正立ち会い人に昇格いきなり10分前ですよさあ対局してゴーしかもいきなり封じ手の開封そんな大役脳練習で待ったなし自分のタイトル戦より他人の立ち会い人が先何のフラグっすか不吉すぎるんですけど大丈夫大丈夫タイトル戦なんてここにいるほぼ全騎士が出たことないからま俺はあるけどね自分の封じ手より他人の封じ手の開封が先だなんて自分が結婚する前に友人の婚姻届の承認のハンコを
Alright, bro. Bro. Let's be real here, though. So, someday you'll get the... Before getting married myself. Someday you'll get there, brother.
しちゃったみたいな
Yeah.
いえめでたいんですけどねそれでは開封いたします封じ手は6六銀打ち
Ooh.
そして2日目の幕が静かに上がった。
What does the observer do? That's actually a good question. And I think this goes out there, right? Because we're not shogi experts at all, or I'm not a shogi expert at all. But like, what does an observer do in this match? Is it just to keep fairness in that regard, or like keep some of the moves sealed? Like, what are some of those extra steps that they do?
でもってと、おい、桐山。
Oh no.
それではただいまより
Oh no,
第
brother.
20期獅子王戦第4局
Doing research now. Thank
解
you.
説を始めたいと思います。
Oh, poor Kiriyama.
まずは今大会の大盤解説藤本ライドウ桐生
God damn, look at this character design.
そして今回
My dude, like, he looks like he's straight up out of a Yakuza anime or some shit. He's about to unleash his fucking Sword of the Wrath Fury God or some shit. He's gonna come through and you're just see a dragon come on screen with special effects and
立ち
stuff.
会い人の辻井九段がなんとインフルエンザということで皆様への影響を考慮し急遽代理で一部解説をしていただくことになりました桐山玲五段です。
よろしくお願いします。
Oh.
桐山五段は皆様ご存知の通り史上5人目の中学生プロ棋士ということで注目を集めましたが中学生プロといえば宗谷名人をはじめ全員がその後名人になっているといういわば未来の名人の卵であると言えますがご自身はその辺は
僕は先輩たちに比べるといきなり器が小さくすいません。
まったくだ。いくら中学生デビューでもいきなり C1 でこんなに足止め食らってりゃ意味がない。俺は高1でデビューだが、こいつの年には B2 になっていた。何が言いたいかというと、俺の方が偉い
Okay, bro.
ということだ。ところがどうだ、中学生デビューという言葉だけを世間はありがたがる。全く
I love that the dude. Okay, first off, I love that, like, for him, he's like, let me compare, full grown adult, let me compare myself to a high school student or a junior high student in that environment. But realistically speaking, off of that, I've seen that happen. Damn, my man has a point to prove, right? But also, have you guys ever encountered this? Have you guys ever seen this? Where adults compare themselves to their kids, to high schoolers or whatnot. It'd be like, at your age, I was already doing this. And it's like, cool, that's your story. That's your narrative. That's amazing. You might not find it impressive, but for other people, he's a YouTube commentator in the making. For other people, they totally find it amazing. For other people, that's like an aspect of aspiration to actually do something in the world. Damn, dude is over the top. What's up, Agera?
欲がないことを日本人はとかく美しく言い立てるが、目標は良くて欲はいかんっておかしいだろ。それ同じもんじゃないのか。ちなみに俺はまたあの不思議ちゃんのおかげでずっと絶対に引きずり下ろして名人になってやる。それまで永久から退く気はみじんもない。っていうか取ったら解散、死ぬまでしがみついてやる。
Damn, the intensity. Bro, I think they should have double checked. I think they should have double checked to see who was commentating. To see how they were in a public setting before allowing them out there. You know, man's confidence is overpowering. And so, no, man has his own, like, you know, delusional Riz world that he's living in. But at the same time, hey, sometimes you gotta, like, you got to speak your truth, even if sometimes that goes against the grain as to what others expect, right? Because for a lot of people, it's like people pleasing. Oh yeah, you did this. That's wonderful, cool. Everyone else in the in the lobby, in the world, gets along with it. But if you have your own group of people that you're like, hey, you know what? This is what we stand for. This is what it's for. Those people, you might get a small sector out of it.
推進島田さん、あなたこんな人たちに囲まれて日々戦っていらしたんですね。いつだけで済んだこと自体、ある意味あなたも怪物ですってば。自分無理っす、永久無理っす。
He has sense weakness and we'll go in. Absolutely, yeah. So if I'm reminded, okay, before we continue, he needs to win one game in order to have a game in his hometown, right? Which is sort of what his main goal has been, to try and fight and to try and bring it back to his hometown, to even showcase like, hey, we're doing okay, we're doing well, we're improving, we're doing whatever, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
痛い。全くもって
2 games.
本当に
Oh shit.
畜生は溝落ちの中で黒い沼がドブドブと脈打っているようだ。生きてるって気がするぜ。
こうなら船りここで行くのか。無茶だ。攻めが切れたらあっという間に寄せられるぞ。
地玉がまだ不安定だ。
攻めがどこまで続くか。
67銀詰めろだ。78銀。28比また詰めろ。 島田このまま寄せきれるか。
しかし相手は宗谷だぞ。
いやでも届くか。
届かん。7-1比だ。しのいだ。飛車と歩たった2枚で。
しかも手番が宗谷に。
If I was a shogi nerd or shogi, like, you know, like, if I lived for the game, I feel like I'd be fucking flipping out. But it's just like, what the fuck is going on in the most interesting way? Like, they make this sound like it's like the end of the world, which is amazing. Right? Like, do you feel like, for example, if you actually played or understood the rules a little bit more, maybe you'd be like more like on the edge for the game as well? It sounds a lot, but for me, it's like the personal dynamics in this, which number one, if you're ever feeling sick in a game, there's a difference between writing your anxiety, right? Or writing little waves of anxiety versus having the anxiety be so much that it physicalizes itself and you're trying to calm it down even though it's affecting you mentally. Will be intense, right?
止まる。宗谷名人の反撃が始まった。
Oh, damn.
勝負あったな。控室に行く。
雪だ。
Man, doubt creeping on you for hours, right?
どんなにもがいても容赦なく埋め尽くしてくる。目もくらむような眩しい闇。
And League of Legends not knowing the game.
圧倒的な。
Sounds heavy. Yeah.
心奪われるほど美しい。
Yeah.
待ってください。まだ終わってません。
はあ櫓は剥がされ、玉も不安定、しかも相手は宗谷。ここからひっくり返るわけがなかろう。
でもまだ終わってません。
Okay, now we get to see the beauty of actually understanding, like, you know, how your friend plays, or even being able to stand up for yourself in that regard.
生きてます。
終わりだよ、島田はもう。しかも圧倒的な大差でな。4立てだ。力が足りなすぎだ。お前確か島田の研究会に入ってるよな。先輩のピンチを認めたくないのはわかるが、かえって島田の株を落とすぞ。黙ってろ。
Damn, bro.
いや、島田八段も頑張ったよ。
でもな、相手がな。
Still overwhelming.
相手が悪いよ。そうやだもんな。
4立てか。
ああ、それにしても一生くらいな。
意地見せて欲しかったよな。
Think about that, guys. People out there being like, you could have won once. Wow, his opponent Soya, the best of the best. He could have at least won once. Wow, no backbone. Wow, what a fucking game. What an L gamer, dude. Like he could even take a loss. Even though he's playing the greatest of all time, according to them. Still, what an L, bro. Like, that amount of concentration of like just the like hatred and the negative comments and whatnot, I think would get to anybody. And I think at that point, that's how you get people that get insanely anxious, insanely stressed out, insanely everything. Most of the folks there aren't even at the level of Shimana and Soya. Yeah.
いいとこなしでしたね。
やっぱりな。
山形遠いね。
まあ、こんなもんでしょう。
いや、違う。まだこの盤面は死んだようには思えない。島田さんの駒が僕には思えない。僕には
Right. Oh, and he pulled a move through, and he oversaw. Oh, dude, we need to get that sweet user data to editor cut it here. And we need to get that, like, you know, the fact that he actually just pulled a move for him to showcase that there's still movement on the board. When you guys were first watching this, right? And you guys were first watching this episode, this moment, this whatever, what did this do for you? What has this show done for you? Because for me, one of the key things that stands out about this is, like, number one, it's a journey, you know, of battling through aspects of depression, of finding yourself, of the aspects of expectations and turmoil and 101 things that we can touch on. But I find hope in it. I find hope in that you can find a family, and that you can find friends, and that together, you know, you can oversee a lot of aspects.
島田さんのコマが死んだとは僕には思えない。僕には
It's real, yeah.
僕には
Damn.
どこへ？桐山子だ。
島田さん、島田さん、島田さん、島田さん。
藤本桐生。
Oh no.
Shimadaさん。
島田八段投了だ。
Oh no, bro.
大差だよ、大差。言った通りだろうが。
Ooh. Oh. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes if you can't think of all the moves possible, you're more than likely going to go with concede or some form of concession. That must hurt, man. Imagine playing so hard to get all the way to, like, the title match and then just to concede. Like, oof. Wait, will he be the one that, like, will he be the one that actually gives him a run for his money? That's a real question, because he clearly understands it. Like, wait, nobody noticed it? There was a threat there. Holy shit, wait a minute. How OP are we about to make Kiriyama?
おい、待てよ。
この7級角。
逆転してる。
24K の詰めろも消してるし。
あれ？宗谷名人の王、積んでたんじゃないか？
おお。
そのたった一手で世界はまるで違う姿を表す。七に一瞬垣間見えていたはずの閃光のような活路。
君は僕を信用しすぎだ。美しかったのに。
Oh. L versus Light here, but we don't know what's happening.
こうして獅子王戦は島田さんの4連敗で幕を閉じた。そして島田さんと僕はその夜のうちに京都を立った。島田さん、お水と軽い食べ物を。
I can't even imagine, man, going into something for like that needs maximum concentration. And again, as you guys have been saying, your first move can literally be your last move 6 hours in the game. The amount of anxiety, the amount of stress buildup, the amount of everything that comes together. Also, he needs to get checked in. Like he needs to go to a doctor and get himself checked out with that, though, because if that anxiety, if that everything, I say that like it manifests or whatnot, he can legitimately be sick, like sicker than sick, like internally. Like he needs to go and I would at least go and be like, hey, you know what? I just had 4 long matches. I need to make sure that I'm A-okay in that regard.
その疲弊しきった横顔に僕は彼の歩いてきた道のりを思った。そうだ。
Exactly.
分かっていたのだ。初めから。嵐の向こうにあるもの。それはたださらに激しいだけの嵐なのだ。倒れても倒れても飛び散った自分のかけらをかき集め何度でも立ち上がり進むものの世界。
Chat, actual question for you guys if you guys have seen season 2. Are we gonna see Kiriyama go, I'm assuming we are, go up in rank, and hopefully my I don't know if there's a season 3, become a master or challenge to become a master. I haven't seen it, but I plan to.
終わりのない方向ならばなぜ。その答えは決してこの横顔に問うてはならない。
Yeah.
その答えはあの嵐の中で自らに問うしかないのだ。
Well, let's talk about it a little bit, right? Because my number one thing is, have you ever been so overwhelmed inside of a competition, inside of a match, inside of a something that you had to give up? Or maybe even it was a goal or a dream, or, maybe it was doing something and you were so overwhelmed. So you knew you were out of your league to the point where you're like, I have to go ahead and concede. I have to give up. I have to, at least take the L in that way. How many of you have had to do something like that? It's been a whole while since I watched season 2, so my memory is a bit hazy, except for one scene that literally burned itself into my mind or my memory. Wow, for a note, holy shit. Because what I'm thinking of here is it takes a lot to put your pride aside, to put a lot of that ego aside and admit that, hey, you're not as... It's not that you're not good, it's just that you're not at this level yet. And I think that's one key element that, like, people need to take in from time to time. I'll wait for this. Because I was going to say, for me, this episode really just throws out there, like, my hair is fucking wild. It pushes it back. Like, this episode just really pushes out there, like, hey, you know what? We're not always perfect. And we're seeing glimpses of genius, right? We're seeing glimpses and aspects of, like, future aspirations or what may come, which is beautiful and which is huge and all of that. But in comes in the real question, or in comes in the next question. There's not a whole lot of information in the role of observer, except for one blogger who visited the tournament match, remarking his job was to make sure that the game is played in the proper atmosphere and that there are no problems. Okay. I mean, that explains a lot. But for that, though, what would you guys give this episode? For me, I love the fact that we're getting to see some of the smaller nuances like this. Because I don't understand the game, it's not like I can give you a full-on analysis of the game. But just the moments in this, just the small little periodic moments in this that, like, pushes through, I think it makes it like a solid 8. It's just like, you got to be open for what this show might bring. And oftentimes a lot of people aren't comfortable with exploring some of those vulnerabilities, right? Because a lot of people want more action than talking, right? Or extreme talking, for example, like in Monogatari. Some people love the show, other people dislike it because of that, right? So everyone has different semblances to this. For me, it's like, I wish I understood more about the game. That way we'd be able to go ahead and dive in deeper. But still, the character dynamics and the aspect of loneliness that it brings up is huge. with that being said, YouTube, told you we'd come back and we'd finish it. We're 2 episodes away. We're going to finish that tonight. For those of you guys that don't know, it might be spread out through a couple of episodes. It's okay. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Come and join us for future shows, future episodes, future everything. And we'll be right back.